Hello and welcome back to Obsessive Prepper-AZ. Today I am going to cook you a yummy soup, super simple, easy to make, using our food storage. And I want to do something where I can show you how to use your food storage, be able to rotate your food storage, and always be turning it and always thinking of ways to use your food storage so you can replace it in meals that you can make. Just recently, I have a series of videos out that is food storage, 10 bucks a week. And I show you how to grow your food storage. If you haven't seen it, check that video out. But in that food storage series, I show you storing dehydrated potatoes, shredded potatoes. I also have a video out on how to dehydrate hash brown potatoes. But I want to show you how to make a soup with these. Also, in my 10 bucks a week food challenge, I show you to store evaporated milk. I haven't got to this yet, but I always think having chicken broth in your food storage is great. And if you didn't have these fresh vegetables, if you had dehydrated vegetables or freeze-dried vegetables, you have freeze-dried celery or freeze-dried carrots. If you dehydrate these on your own, great. So come along and I'm going to show you how to use some of your food storage and make a yummy, yummy soup for your family. Starting off, I'm going to open up this box of hash browns and I'm just going to fill this up to the top, like the recommendations, of hot water. So with our hash browns, I went ahead and put hot water in this and we're going to let it just go ahead and steep and rehydrate, and it doesn't take any time at all. We're just going to let it rehydrate while we get to cooking back here. So I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil. Oh, I don't know, 3-4 tablespoons of olive oil. And we're going to go ahead and put our chopped onion in here. Depends on your flavors if you want chopped onion or not. I have a half an onion chopped. So maybe we don't have fresh onion. You can always use dehydrated onion. I have a video on how to dehydrate onions and garlic. Check those videos out for your food storage. And now we're going to add some celery. So normally I don't measure. If you've watched any of my cooking videos, I'm pretty just throw it in and I just go with it. I've been cooking my entire life. I love to cook, and so I know what to put in. If I was to guess, I'm going to call it 3 celery stalks chopped. And now I'm going to add 1 carrot diced. Now I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. And when you cook, you want to add layers. So you don't just add all your seasonings right now. You come back and you add some more. I cook, I do layers of seasonings. We're going to do some pink Himalayan sea salt. Now if it was an SHTF situation and we didn't have butter, then don't put butter in, just use your olive oil. But everything's better with butter. Everything's better with butter, and I'm adding, what do you call that? 3 tablespoons of butter. I have my Lowry's garlic salt. If you watch any of my videos, this is one of my go-to seasonings. I'm going to put in about 1 teaspoon of Lowry's garlic salt. Just going to open up the carton and dump it straight in. I'm going to add in 1 can chicken broth. And I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of Mrs. Dash. I always put the seasonings in my fingers and smash it so we can release the oils out of your seasonings, especially if you have some older seasonings that you've had in your food storage, and primarily for the larger seasonings. So if oregano, parsleys, anything like a leaf, you want to smush it in your finger so that you can release those oils. And I'm going to add in a couple shakes of Nature's Seasonings by Morton's. Up, and now I'm going to add in some broccoli. Now if it was SHTF situation, if we didn't have freeze-dried broccoli, dehydrated broccoli, then just, scratch, omit it. I originally did this recipe years ago when Marie Callender's had their potato cheese soup, and my girlfriend, when we were about 16 years old, worked for Marie Callender's, and I kind of got this recipe and kind of mocked it to my way of cooking, and so it's kind of like Marie Callender's potato cheese soup with broccoli. You can see where we're at with our chicken stock and our moisture. I'm just going to add just a teeny bit, not much, water to this. So I let this boil for 2 minutes, and now I'm going to add another food pantry item, which is our evaporated milk. And in your food preps, you can store something like powdered milk, evaporated milk. If we don't have milk in our refrigerator, you can use half and half, but we're going to use a food prep item, which is our evaporated milk. Something I also wanted to share with you. Now, when I purchase canned foods, packaged foods, anything, before I ever put it in my pantry, I put the date on it. So this I purchased on 11/2018. So that way I know when I purchase it. I don't care about their best by date, expiration dates, because we know as preppers we can get more time out of our food. So go ahead and put your dates with the black Sharpie. Have a couple of them in my pantry, in my drawer, and before I ever put this away, I will put the date on it. So who's peeping in on me? So this is strictly a video that I am doing because I am making soup to take out on the road. I'm going out with my husband again, 2, maybe 3 weeks, and what I do is I put foods in containers, we freeze them, and then we take them out on the road and heat them up in the microwave. What we're eating tonight?
Yeah, and your video's taking up my steak time, just so you know.
It's Father's Day. We're doing ribeyes. But this soup is awesome, so I wanted to share it with you. You need to always turn and rotate your food pantry. Got our evaporated milk in. Something you can have on the shelf. Now it doesn't store as long, and I'm a huge fan of it, is Velveeta. I grew up on Velveeta. I like Velveeta. People say, that's not cheese, that's processed. I don't care. I like Velveeta. If you don't like Velveeta, then use different cheeses. There is a place in your pantry for Velveeta. If you want it to store longer, just put it in the back of your refrigerator and it will store longer than its best by use date. So I purchased the big blocks of Velveeta, and I used about a hunk about that big is what I put into the soup. I'm going to do another shake of pepper. At this point, we want to taste it. I go ahead and put in about another teaspoon of garlic salt. Another shake of Nature's Seasonings. And a little bit more Mrs. Dash. So with our food preps, our soup is done. The only thing is we're not in SHTF situations, so I'm gonna add some more cheese to my soup. I add probably close to a half a cup of cheese. So our soup is completely done. Now we use some of our food pantry items if things were SHTF situation and you have vegetables in your food stores, be it canned, you don't have to use these. This recipe is great for every day, not an SHTF situation, but if you were in that situation, easy meal to make. You use your evaporated milk, your olive oil, your dehydrated hash brown potatoes, dehydrated onions. If you have some dehydrated or freeze-dried carrots and celery, and you can make a nice meal. Maybe you have some cheese that is stored, some dehydrated cheese. I love Honeyville's shredded freeze-dried cheese. If you haven't ever looked at that, check their dehydrated cheese out. I also have a video coming out, maybe out by the time this video is, of purchasing cheese at Winco that comes in their bulk section. So there's other things that you can do to be able to make this soup. So he's sitting here patiently. He wants to eat some. Do you want to eat some of my soup?
I want to eat something.
Now, what I do, and I've always added to my soups ever since I ate Marie Callender's, is I fried some bacon. And just adding just a little bit of bacon to our soup.
Add a lot of bacon. It makes everything better.
So there's some bacon. There you go, babe.
Definitely hot. Woo! That's really good. Really hot, but it's good.
Woo!
We're gonna do some serious eating tonight.
This soup is great for us out on the road. I put them in little containers, we freeze it, and then we're able to microwave it up.
More bacon. Makes everything awesome. If you don't like bacon, you need to unsubscribe. Just saying.
Why is it we're always eating hot food? Comes out hot. You could easily make this in a solar sun oven. Easy, make it in a solar sun oven. I would just, at that point, all you're doing is reconstituting your vegetables with all your stuff. And remember, when we have dehydrated vegetables, don't put salt into the mix because it will keep them from rehydrating. Add your salt afterwards, so add your garlic salt afterwards, or just use garlic.
The best thing about this for me is she'll freeze it, and all I gotta do is heat it up, because that's all I'm capable of. If you like the video, please subscribe.
And if you want to be notified for future videos, ring the bell. Have a blessed evening.